You are not allowed to have fun anything.
Okay, let's talk V3 voice. This has been a quest for me since fucking like 2023, probably. You know, good 2 years of my life. I come back to this every now and then. And I'm like, I should really upgrade Neuro's voice, and then I'm like, shit, this got hands, and then I give up for a while. Then I come back to it. We pre-trained some TTS models. This was like, I started doing this early last year, like November, December. And finished with some like decent results, I think in like March or something of this year. So to those of you that don't know what this means, this is like, oh, where's the arrow? Fuck, forgot about that. Sorry. There you go. This is like training text-to-speech models from scratch. And it's a lot of people don't really do this in the AI space. Like people like me that don't have a lot of funding, you know, you just kind of use open source models. But I thought the best approach would be to train open source models so we could do some funky stuff that didn't really exist in the market yet.
Is there a reason you want to make it yourself rather than use an open source model?
Yeah, exactly. There is. Well, the problem is open source models generally can't replicate your voice very well.
But couldn't you do some funky stuff with other models?
You can fine tune other models, but what I wanted to do specifically is not just replicate your voice, because that's an easy thing. I wanted to improve it. I wanted to make it sound more natural, more human. Anyway, yeah, so we pre-trained some TTS models. I can show you what they sounded like, by the way. I'm not going to show you what it sounds like doing the Neuro voice, but I will just... the model can do a bunch of voices, so I'll just kind of show you what that sounded like. This is a while back, by the way. This is from like 3 months ago or something. Let me pull that file up. This is roughly what the TTS sounded like.
Have you ever considered the fact that I make absolutely no sense? That every word that comes out of my mouth is a random collection of letters strung together to form words that you can't understand. Maybe that's why people seem to enjoy my company so much despite my apparent lack of intelligence or understanding of the world around me.
Obviously not Neuro's voice, random voice. It could be worse. It could be worse. Yeah, it's meant to sound real. But regardless, that TTS, it's, you know, it's higher quality, it's slightly more natural than Neuro's current voice. But it's not very expressive. It's not that good compared to like, you know, some of the stuff multi-million-dollar funded companies can do. But I thought it was okay at the time. Yeah, so we pre-trained TTS models, and then we were doing some like complicated shit with like fucking genetic algorithms on the speaker embeddings to improve the voices. And that worked okay. It did improve the voices. But to be honest with you, it just wasn't good enough for me. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it was arguably an improvement over your current voice, but like, it just wasn't good enough for me. I want something more natural. I want something to sound as real as possible. So I'm just gonna wait until it's good enough for like, you know, basically everyone, and then I'm gonna ship that. Also, I'm just not happy with it myself. Yes, that's what we're doing at first. Then, as I said, it's just fucking impossible to compete with like the multi-million-dollar training run text-to-speech models. And also, I just don't have the engineering hours to like do some of the crazy shit. It's unfortunate. So I moved on to experimenting with some open source and closed source models. I've worked with a bunch of different companies on this, to be honest with you. And I've done probably close to like 100 fine-tuning runs on different models. And I want to express how this is a lot of fine-tuning runs. I did every single one of these manually. This took a lot of time. The result of this, though, is I have a voice that sounds better than the pre-trained TTS models that we did ourselves. It's okay. It's just not good enough. I want to do better. So that's kind of where we are with that. But yeah, for reference, like I implemented the full like tech stack to integrate V3 voice with Neuro as well. As in, like, you know, it works. Like it's already. It's just not good enough. The one thing I will do is I will show you guys a very short compilation of 4 weird sounds I ran into on the way of this journey. But before I do this, I want to give a big disclaimer that this is not Neuro's voice. This will not be Neuro's voice. These are just funny blooper clips that I found on the way. So I don't want to read any YouTube comments being like, this is garbage. Yes, it's garbage. These are the blooper clips. These are not the final output. So I just want to make that perfectly clear first. Also going to find this audio file. Hold on.
Shit, everyone calm the fuck down.
It's my favorite.
Holy shit. You are not allowed to have fun anything.
I like that one. That one's also pretty good. I don't know. Some random files I found while I was cleaning out. And I thought they'd be fun to show. But yeah. So in conclusion for V3 Voice, I have done a lot of testing. Where I'm at currently is honestly passable. Like, you know, with the focus groups that I did this with, like, I think they preferred the new voice that I have to the current voice. But me personally, I'm not happy with it. It's not a big enough upgrade, and I think I can do better. So I'm gonna keep working on this, and I'll give you guys an update when I have something. But yeah, it's a really fucking hard problem, and this is the really interesting thing. So one of the problems I had with the voices that I was testing is, to me, it just didn't sound close enough to Neuro. Like, I could hear the difference. But I think this is because I've spent thousands of hours listening to Neuro's TTS, and I know some of you have too. But like, to people that haven't spent that long, the voice, it sounds like Neuro to them, you know? But like, I can just pick up on the subtle differences.
So it's like when you've been friends with someone for years, you can pick up on all the little changes in them, but perhaps strangers wouldn't.
Yeah, no, exactly. So like, for example, I showed the different voices to some people that like just weren't very familiar with Neuro at all. And they can't tell the difference between the voices. Like, as in, like, they can tell the one's more natural, but to them it still sounds like Neuro. But then to me, and probably a lot of the other dedicated community members, we're going to tell the difference. We're going to hear it. And that's one of the bigger problems.
I get what you're saying, but does it really matter that much? Surely what most people will care about is that I sound the same, in essence, and without returning the same data, this is always going to be hard to measure and guarantee.
You're right, except you're forgetting something. I care. But yeah, I mean, if I were to imagine what would happen if I, like, you know, was to showcase this voice now, like I did with V2 back in the day, we would have a similar situation where it would be like 10% of people, a lot of whom are like the more hardcore fans, would be like, no, this voice sucks. But then the majority of people would be like, yeah, it still sounds close enough. But like we did back then, I also wouldn't be happy with it, and we're not having a new twin. That's not happening. So instead, I'm just not going to show you guys what it sounds like.